In this video, we're going to create an installer to install software onto a Windows 7, 8, or 10 computer. We're going to start by creating a folder in a location on your computer that your user account has full read and write access to. So in this situation, we're going to create a folder directly on drive C, and inside that folder, we're going to create a source folder that has all the applications and other types of documents that you ultimately want to install on the customer's target computer. We're also going to have a support folder that includes a background image for our installer screen, a logo image that we can place in the top left corner, an application icon image that we can place in the top right corner, and finally an application icon file itself that we can apply to our generated installer file. Once the installer gets generated, we'll place it in an output folder. We're going to be using ClickInstall Windows to generate this software installer, and we're going to fill in a record of information that has all the information needed to build the installer. So we have a path to our source folder that has all the files we want to install, a path to the output folder where the installer will be generated, and we have a description for our application, a manufacturer's folder name. For a 32-bit application, it'll get installed under Program Files x86, and then there will be a folder called Excel Software, and in that folder there'll be a product-specific folder called Hello. And we have a version number for our installer. Here's the name of our installer file that's going to get generated. We're going to include a logo in the top left corner of the installer screen, so we've checked the logo, and under Preferences we have a path to the image file we want to use for that logo. Now we want to use a background image on our installer, which we've defined here, and then we also have a path to a specific image for this particular installer for the little icon image itself that we're going to put in the top right corner. We have a path to an icon file that we're going to use and apply it to the generated installer file to kind of customize it. So we have a title at the top of our installer, some text within the main installer screen. It's a 32-bit installer. We're going to include an uninstall button, and if the installer detects that the application has already been installed, it will just automatically uninstall it and then allow the new install to occur. We want to include a license agreement, so we'll go to the license agreement panel, and we've used the default button to create some default text for a license agreement. We can take a look at what it looks like here and customize it if we want. We can also code sign our installer. The process of code signing basically adds legitimacy to your installer and to included executables and DLLs and other files installed by your installer by signing them in such a way that the browsers, virus scanners, or humans interacting with your installer will know it's a legitimate piece of software. We're also going to, on the shortcuts panel, include a couple shortcuts. So we have a desktop and a start menu shortcut to the executable that's in our source folder. And now we have everything set up. We're ready to build our installer. We can create a separate record for each installer that we want to build, and then click the batch build and build them all in one go. But in this case, we're just going to build a single installer for this record, so we'll just click the build button and wait for it to complete. In the output folder is the generated installer. If the user double clicks to launch it, they'll be presented with a user account control screen that they have to confirm. That's not actually captured in the video. They'll then click the install button and go through a series of screens presented to them to actually install the application. Once it's been installed, the installer shuts itself down and the application is available for use. If the user decides to launch the installer again, this time you'll see there's an uninstall button present where they can click and go ahead and uninstall the application. Let's go through that process one more time. Let's install the application again. So now the application already exists, and let's say the user launches the installer again, and this time they decide not to click uninstall. We've set it up to auto uninstall, so when they click install, it actually does the uninstall process first and then immediately does the install process.